Hi, we're here at the Queer Youth Leadership Awards with Bill Monning. We're just here to ask you a couple questions. I was wondering, what type of support and leadership inspired you when you were in your youth?
Great. Well, first, I want to applaud what CYLA has organized. This is really great. The auditorium looks wonderful. I grew up in the 60s, child of the 60s, Martin Luther King, the Kennedys. I worked with Cesar Chavez in the United Farm Workers Union, and the parallels I see, they were great inspirations to me, not just the individuals, but they were civil rights movements and queer youth, gay rights, lesbian rights, transgender rights. It's the civil rights movement of the 21st century, and I look forward to talking with you about some of the efforts in Sacramento that we're pursuing to try to expand the franchise of full citizenship to all Californians.
And what are some of those efforts that you are making in Sacramento?
I've got some notes here because I don't ever remember all of our Assembly Bill numbers, so I'm just going to take a peek. Okay, 8AB, that's Assembly Bill 887. That's an anti-gender discrimination bill. The author is Toni Atkins. She's a new member this year from Southern California. I am a co-author on that bill. It prevents any discrimination in the enforcement of California laws on the basis of gender or gender identification. I sit on the judiciary. It's made it through our judiciary committee, and that will be coming to the full assembly floor within the next couple of weeks. Another one I'd like to mention, Senator Mark Leno, has introduced Senate Bill 48, and that would advance a notion of educational equality, and that in teaching in California schools, we would have full inclusion of leaders in history of the LGBT movement, including leaders like Harvey Milk and others. And unfortunately, this has to be a fight, but if it has to be a fight, we're ready for the fight. My good colleague Bonnie Lowenthal, also from Southern California, AB 443, that tries to bring into conformance how somebody in California can go back and change in their birth certificate gender identification and name. We currently have that at the federal level with passports. The federal government has actually moved more quickly than state government. So on this one, what we're saying is California should be in conformity with the rest of the country. And then finally, I'd just like to mention one by my good friend Tom Amiano, AB number 9. Tom Amiano represents San Francisco area, former member of the Board of Supervisors. He was a close friend and ally of Harvey Milk and a great champion for civil rights in our state assembly. His bill focuses on identifying bullying in schools based on gender identification, sexual preference, sexual orientation, would be treated as a civil rights violation and as bullying. His bill proposes some affirmative actions to be taken in school districts. It would cost some money given our state budget crisis. My understanding on that bill is that it's been placed on the suspense file in our appropriations committee, not based on discrimination against who it seeks to protect, but based on the fact that our state has no money. So virtually any bill we introduce now that has a price tag on it gets put on the shelf.
Wow, those sound all really fantastic. What does it mean to you to be an ally?
Well, for me, I mentioned in an earlier stage of my life, I had the great privilege of working with the United Farm Workers Union on the picket lines, in the courts, in the jails, and I felt I was an ally and was able to use my privilege of education and advocacy in that struggle. And as I said before, I see a lot of parallels with the liberation and full equality in today's equality movement. I draw strength and energy from my relationships with people in leadership positions, people struggling around their own identity and in the struggle for equality. And so I just feel privileged to be in the position I am today, an elected position where I can, with confidence and knowing that we have a strong network of allies, be a voice in support of some of the legislation that I've talked about. Regardless of the fate of some of the legislation, it provides an important opportunity during committee debates, during floor debates, for us to have as many people as possible raising their microphones and giving legitimacy and just cause to equality issues. And I look forward to next year. But thank you for your leadership and your efforts, and a shout out and thanks to community television for always being where it's happening. Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Bill Monning.
Thanks so much.
Enjoy your dinner.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
enjoy your night.
Great meeting you
Yeah,
guys.
great.